Are we on?
I don't see it.
I don't see it. I don't see nothing.
Oh yeah, we straight. Hold up.
There we go. I think we in the building now. Shall I let that thing go?
Hold up.
Let me know when I can let that thing go.
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
What'd I tell you?
That's not my phone.
That is your phone.
It's not my phone.
Oh, that was my phone.
Yeah, see?
Hey, yeah, you got it.
I can let that thing go?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let that thing go.
Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, so they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Yeah.
What's good?
Urban X Nation.
What's good? We are back, man.
We are back.
Shout out to the YouTube viewers. Shout out to the podcast listeners on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Audio Boom, Castbox, Radio Public.
Yeah.
We here, man.
We here, man. We doing the damn thing. We
Yeah,
doing
man.
the damn thing. What up, family? Urban X Nation in the building. We love the support that we're getting.
Definitely.
We have a little different kind of setup going today because our guest, Brotha Oba, is stuck in a little bit of traffic.
You wasn't supposed to say who was coming until he got up here, man.
All right, do the whole show over.
Yeah.
Cancel everything. Log out.
You wasn't supposed to say. You do this all the time.
Log back in. I didn't know. Y'all need to have a family meeting and tell me I'm doing something wrong, okay? I'm just going with the show. The brother, we told them last week the brother would be here.
No, we didn't tell him last week.
Yes, we did.
No, did we?
Please go to last week's show. I
right.
said Brotha Oba will be in the building. I said we had some technical difficulties. We needed to buy a chair. Because we didn't want him sitting low because it would look weird like he was like a midget or some shit. So we had to get equal standards. All right? So, you know, it is what it is, but this is some hood shit. So when he walk in, we'll just be like, "Hey, nigga, what's up? Have a seat."
Exactly.
And mic up, and let's start talking to the people.
Okay.
So, in the meantime, in the between time,
We have some stuff.
we got some stuff, and then we'll just include Oba because I want to know what his opinion is on just regular shit too. Get your questions ready in the chat room.
Yes, please.
Okay? Get them ready. Put hashtag Oba
Yeah.
so we can get right to him if you have a specific question for Brotha Oba. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, spiritual questions, occult questions about
And regular stuff too. He
regular shit too, because
Yeah.
you know, he like all that. You
Yeah.
know, Brotha Oba drop all that.
For real.
And that's what I love about him most. You know, a lot of times we think of these spiritual leaders, or so to speak, and we put them on pedestals. And we don't do that here. Nobody is above anybody here. I don't care how much you studied something. Now, I will respect my elders. That's just a natural thing.
Right.
So when my elders are teaching or speaking, they're going to get the respect. But we don't put anybody on pedestals because we always preaching you are spiritual but having a human experience.
For sure.
And with that being said, I never even pressed record on this.
Oh, I know.
So, because I'm like slow.
Yo, I knew it.
So, you know.
Start over.
No.
No, we not going to.
Oh my gosh, I knew it. Oh, I knew it, man.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to Alejandro myself.
Yeah.
Everybody, hold on. Black Dot, we like you here at
Oh
Urban
my
X,
God.
but you're a good man,
Yo,
Black Dot, but you gotta go.
See, I swear. I was gonna say something, but I'm thinking, no, he got it. He got it. You know.
Listen, I'd be excited, man. You know, I'm getting older.
First, he gives away who's coming here, right? When he wasn't supposed to, right? And then he's not even. This is a podcast, and he didn't even press record. What's wrong with you?
The good thing about it is this stuff can be edited in. Watch this. Tell me I'm gonna press record right now, and then we say, "Hey, fam,
No.
welcome to Urban X."
No.
Listen, we gotta get the crowd.
No, I want everybody to see your shame. No, I want.
I just Alejandro myself.
No,
son.
no, everybody.
I sat myself down. I said,
zoom in on him.
Dot,
Everybody in the chat, please.
Dot, you're a good man.
Shame him. No, shame him.
But we gotta let you go,
Yeah,
man.
shame him.
You've been with the company 35 years, and we gotta let you go, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So, but this might listen. But me, I'm always looking for the blessing. Brother Oba's not here, so we just wasted. We just talked shit to our audience. It's on YouTube, so it's recorded on YouTube.
True.
And I'm gonna start the podcast.
You still didn't press.
Peace, family. Welcome to Urban X. We love you guys. Urban X Nation in the building. Let's clap that up for Urban X being prepared and on time. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, putting on these events and these shows is sometimes hard. If only you knew what goes on behind the scenes.
Oh, man.
But this is why we always keep the show professional. We're on time and we're organized. Let's clap that up for Urban X.
For the people that are listening, who are just getting in with us right now.
Yeah. For the people who are just getting in, you right on time.
Yeah, we did about 10 minutes.
For the early birds,
Yeah.
they caught some shit they wasn't supposed to catch. They caught a Family Feud. And I'm usually Alejandro on people, but I think I'm going to get...
Yeah.
They're going to sit me down and tell me I'm no longer needed on the show.
So what's good, man?
So everything is great, man. And like I said, if you didn't hear earlier, we got Brother Oba coming into the building. We're excited about that. He's on his way to Cuba. So this weekend.
Right.
So he's stopping in for us. We appreciate it. So for everybody out there who has their questions, hashtag Brother Oba, and we will get to, as many of them as we can, so that it'll be something amazing for you.
That is a nice shirt you have on.
Oh, this?
Yeah, that right there.
This is that Urban Excellence joint. They
Right.
popping.
Right.
Man, we done sold two.
Yeah.
I mean, they hot off the rack though.
Sylvie?
So what we're trying to tell you is now we got everything organized because somebody, I'm not going to mention names, didn't have the site up, didn't have the links to the site so that we can make that money.
Time out. So now you didn't press record on a podcast, so now he's trying to throw everybody under the bus.
No, I'm just calling it like I see it.
Oh, please.
We listen, I'm pretty sure it's about 20 people in the chat that went to purchase a shirt last week and was kicked out because we wasn't organized. But that's not gonna happen this week.
Well, if you want a shirt, you go to urbanx.nyc.
Yes, urbanx.nyc.
Hit the shop button. It's right there.
urbanx.nyc. Hit that shop button so we can get that popping. Because the shirts we sell here determine when the ladies get theirs. Because it's like hustling. I got a bag of weed. We can't get another bag of weed until we get rid of this bag of weed. And, so it's hustling. We're going to move these stacks. And then we're going to double up. You can tell I ain't never sold drugs a day in my life. I don't double up stacks. Doc, stick to what you do. I did sell crack for 3 days. I told a story in one of my lectures. And for 3 days, son, everything that could go wrong went wrong.
What you mean?
I hit my man with a bundle.
Okay.
All right? He called me from the window and said, yo, Dot, it's cracking out here. Hit me with a package. Now, I had never hit him with a package. This ain't my work.
Right.
My man, it was his work. He went to jail. Right. So now I'm in my house with a table full of crack.
Yeah, this is the plot of a What movie was that? Half Baked with Dave
Okay,
Chappelle.
yeah,
Same
like
thing.
half
Same
baked,
thing. Yeah,
right?
same thing.
So I got a table full of crack. I don't know nothing about this. He's in the kitchen cooking his shit up, whatever. He gets knocked. He needs bail money.
Right.
So I'm like, dude, I ain't got no bail money, but I do have the crack. So I looked through the crack manual, because it's a crack manual, the 10 crack commandments. It said, all right, put the work out in the streets. Walk the streets every now and then to see how your workers is doing. Don't smile with the workers, because then they'll think you soft.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, pull up and just in the car like, yo, what's good out here? So I did all that. Everything's fine. My boy called me. This is where it gets crazy. He called me, yo, D, hit me with a package. It's hot out here. So from the window, I pitched him a package.
From the window.
From the window. Like,
The front window.
The front window. I lived on the first floor.
You threw some crack outside.
It was nighttime.
Oh, okay.
I threw some crack out the window. So, you know what I'm saying? First day go by. I'm like, all right, everybody else is hitting me with their bread. All right, I like that. You know, you get 2 off a bottle. I'm good at math. I ain't hear from this nigga for 3 days. So I go back to the crack manual. Page 37 says, nigga don't show up with the money. You have to kill this nigga to make an example for the other workers. So I'm like, all right. So I strapped up, me and my man Chill. True story. And my man Chill is crazy. All right. He looking for action.
Shout out to Uncle Joe.
And we strap up and we go looking for him. And we didn't find him. I'm glad we didn't. Because then the story would have got really crazy. Because then we would have had to shoot him to make an example. I would have just been coming home now. You wouldn't have been born.
Yeah.
The whole tape would have been crazy. But that's how that story went. And so for 3 days, and then we finally got the bail money to get this nigga out. I'm like, you got to get this shit out of my house. Man. This shit is fucking crazy. You know what I mean? So that's my crack story.
But that's not urban excellence.
That is not urban excellence.
Urban excellence.
But I was a crack dealer. Don't get it twisted. For 3 days. So if I wrote a song about it or an album about it,
you could.
I wouldn't be lying.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
But I really wouldn't be telling the truth.
Nobody would know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Roll up on my man with the gat.
Yeah, nobody.
Yo, where that crack at? Went to his girl's house. I'm gonna kill a baby and the kids.
Jay-Z still talking about he lost 92 bricks, which I don't believe.
He said he lost 92
He said he lost 92 bricks. I don't believe it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's a lot of bricks.
And then it was a meme with him and Pusha T, and Pusha T was like, 92 bricks? Boy, I had to kill you.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a lot
That's
of
a lot of money.
My man just, he ran up with like 100 vials. So I gave him, y'all was pictures in packages of 100.
Yeah.
And we were friends to this day. He robbed the bank, so he's in jail doing life now. But, that is what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to kill a little time. But now, let's talk about some things going on.
Did you hear Kanye's album?
I heard Kanye's album.
I heard it as well.
Okay, let's start with your opinion first, since you usually a hater on things.
Okay, listen. I didn't particularly like it.
Okay.
Right? I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I think it had a lot to do with what I was listening to prior. Right?
Okay.
So I was listening to Pusha T.
Crack seller.
Yeah, that's all I was listening to. I was going to the gym. That's all I was listening to.
Right.
Then I gave his album a listen, and it just wasn't where I was at. That's what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was just where I wasn't at.
Yeah, that's
the second time I listened to it, I got a better understanding of it, but I just wasn't. That's not what I wanted.
It's not what you wanted.
Nah.
Okay. All right. What else you got to say? Anything?
The 7 songs thing. I'm a fan of the 7-track thing.
Yeah.
Get your point, but I think in my opinion, I think Kanye, he benefits from the longer albums because he tells a fuller story.
Yeah, in most cases.
That's how I feel. Right,
Yeah.
Life of Pablo was like 19 songs, and I thought that album was crazy.
But check this out. 5 or 6 of them songs I could have did without.
That's true too.
You see what I'm saying?
That's true too.
Kanye is changing the time-space continuum with this one. And what I mean by that is this 7 album shit is brilliant. Because most of the time, even in the chat room, let's be honest, you listen to somebody's album, they probably got 6 or 7 bangers. The rest of them is fillers, features with your man, you put your arm on a track. You don't need all that shit. So what he did was, he's telling artists, go in, let's record 30 songs, and let's pull off 7 songs. Because in this day and time, I only got 23 minutes to pay, listen to your album.
But what it is that it's the streaming era, so you get money off more streams. So they try to pack albums with, like the Migos joint was like 22 songs of literally the
I get
same
it.
song.
I get it.
So I get where he's going because I understand that too. And I think the best albums throughout hip hop history have been shorter albums.
Yeah, Rakim would give you 10 songs.
Illmatic was 9 songs.
9 songs of just
10
power.
songs. Yeah, it's
10
just
songs of just packed information. We kind of got into an age of things being diluted.
Right.
And with things being diluted, it has created mediocrity, so to speak. The YouTube era, this generation, the text era, the meme era, your attention span is very short to begin with. So this album is acclimated to me to this generation. Now, with that being said, remember, Pusha T's album 7, and he said he used 7 because God created the universe in 7. And then he talked about supreme mathematics. 7 is the number of God. So it's all tied in.
Right.
Spiritually and mathematically speaking.
And he called the album
Yay, which is what we were breaking down when we were saying, isn't it written in your law that yay or ye are gods?
That was like 3 shows ago.
That was 3 or 4 shows ago. We're not going to take credit for that one, but we're taking credit for that one. It just goes to show the synchronicity of where we're at. Now, with that being said, you want me to text people?
You got to check it.
My text messages?
Yeah.
I'm checking now, and we're good.
You had it open on the YouTube app, so it'll come up.
You will get Alejandro here.
All right.
So, I love the album. All right? I'm going to clap that up for Kanye. Now, I am not a Kanye hater. I am not one of these people who, because Kanye did something in the political world, that I'm not going to give his music a fair shake in the creative world. You have people who won't listen to his album simply because he was standing next to Trump, or he said something about slavery is a choice, or this and that. Some people are even patting themselves on the back, saying, I didn't even listen to his album. Like, that's some revolutionary shit. Now, tell me you listened and you didn't like it. That's fine, because it's an acquired taste. This is not a hip-hop album. It is hip-hop, pop, rock, soul, jazz, and gospel fused into one.
Into 7 tracks.
Into 7 tracks. His music is undefinable now. And for me, I like that because I hate patterns. We talked about patterns and doing the same shit and expecting a different result. Some great albums came out this week. Black Thought's album is crazy. It's an EP
with Ninth
Wonder. Amazing bars. You know what I'm saying? You get a great piece of uninterrupted Black Thought. But at the end of the day, I've heard that format before. Right. So, okay, cool. Pusha T's album, another great hip hop album. Incredible. Especially if you into that kind of music, Kanye displayed his musical genius to prove he still can do hip hop tracks if he wanted to. 7 tracks, great. Planet Asia. My man Planet Asia has an album called Mansa Musa, and it's fire. Right? Bars up and down, hip hop tracks, all of that stuff, again, aligning with something we're all familiar with.
Right.
This Kanye album is undefinable. It is so much fused into one, and sonically, the choruses, the hooks, the music that he's using, to me, puts me in a place that challenges me creatively.
Right.
So I understand his creative genius, and wifey listened to it in the car this morning, and she said, it's not really my thing. I get some of the tracks, this and that. And that's an honest opinion. That's great. I'm always looking for the artist to take me into realms that I haven't been in. And he started with The Life of Pablo. He did it with the 808.
Right.
He did it with so many different... He never gives me the same album twice, is what I'm trying to tell the people out in the chat room. And this 7 cuts was right along those lines. And I felt he talked about his bipolar. He talked about his situation with his wife. He talked about, he has a track called Violent Crimes, about talking about his daughter growing up and the challenges of men and how men are dogs until they have a daughter. I thought it was an amazing track. He has a track with Kid Cudi called Ghost Town.
That was fire.
Whoa.
And that album's coming out tomorrow.
And the Kid Cudi album with Kanye is coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So for the next 30 days, he has sold up the time-space continuum, and each album will probably present something different. So I enjoyed it. It was 23 minutes. It didn't bog me down. I'm able to listen to it 2 or 3 times within an hour span and really get a feel for it. And I thought the album was incredible, and it's undefinable. It's some gospel in there. It's some soul. It's some jazz. It's some fusion. He put a few hip-hop bars in, and he don't waste bars. He's almost Tupacian. Like, he don't have clever punchlines.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah. But what I mean by that is he doesn't have... Tupac had a way of getting direct to the point and having an impact. So where Biggie might be able to have a double and triple entendres and crazy punchlines, Tupac, Dear Mama, and not anything Biggie ever did out, in my humble opinion. Brenda's Got a Baby. I'm talking about social impact.
Oh, obviously.
Social impact.
Obviously.
Now, when it came to just party joints, even I Get Around, so Tupac didn't waste any bars. And I feel being a Gemini, as he is, Kanye's a Gemini, along with Tupac and Biggie, he has the ability to say what he wants to say and in a shorter period of time. There was no over-rapping. He was never trying to say, I'm the best lyricist, I got bars. So, I thought it's worth a listen for you, but you have to have an open mind to really appreciate his music. So, for me, it was amazing. I don't know what tomorrow brings with the one with him and Kid Cudi. And I'm not going to hold, because we're always preaching we're spiritual beings having human experiences. I'm not going to hold his bipolarism against him as other people did. This man has put out 9 or 10 incredible albums. Mm-hmm. So let his music speak to you. That's why even R. Kelly's music still speaks to black women in particular, because it supersedes or transcends moral shit. You know what I'm saying? What this nigga did in the streets, he's speaking to your spirit. He's speaking to your soul. And that's what music is supposed to do. And it becomes challenging. I'm going on my rant right now. But it becomes challenging to keep trying to be creative. It's easy for me to give you the same shit over and over and over and over again. It's challenging to say, I created a box. Now the challenge is to get out of the box and create another box.
Right.
The problem is the Matrix is always trying to get 2 and 3 boxes ahead of you so that you have the perception that what you're creating is new, and it isn't.
I find it interesting that when it came to like say we were talking about Bill Cosby, right? And people were upset that they were trying to get his reruns pulled off of TV, and what were people saying?
People wanted his shit to play.
Right, because they wanted everybody to separate the art,
Dr. Huxtable from Bill Cosby.
From Bill Cosby.
Absolutely.
Right? Why don't we do that with music?
We should, and that's what I said. But we this generation, everybody's so
wound up.
Everybody's so wound
angry,
up and
angry
that we're not allowing the creative process, which is the highest process. Mm-hmm. You got here, that's a creative process. You know what I mean? God must create or God dies. So the God within you must continue to further its creation, or stagnation leads to death. That's why everything in the universe continues to move. So some artists allow the record companies to gas them up and go, nah, we want the same album you gave us last year. And then we stagnate, and then what happens is
sophomore slump.
Mm-hmm. And then beyond that, the fans turn on your ass. They go, oh, this is some new shit over here. And then they switch over to that new shit because you have become redundant in what you're doing. Sort of like what we was talking about on our own show, that when we get to show 39, 40, and 50, if we're still talking and doing the same things, we're creating a stagnant situation. Right. And the urban X Nation will go, all right, we'll get back to that later, and they'll be on to something new. Even us setting this up different, We just changed the algorithm on y'all. Y'all ain't even people. We got a third chair here. Ain't nobody coming. We just did that. Nah, I'm only fucking around. Oba will be here. But what I'm trying to say is, in your process out there, stay creative. Whatever you're doing, never get comfortable. And this is the Urban X spiel of the week. Never get comfortable. Stay moving, stay progressive, stay trying to be the best that you could be, stay challenging yourself, even if it's small victories. Stop looking at the big picture,
right.
Small victories. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people graduating this time of the month. Celebrate them. You know what I mean?
Somebody hit us, actually, hashtag Urban Excellence on Instagram today. Somebody was graduating. I think their daughter was graduating.
Okay.
So shout out. Let me see. I think.
Shout them out because
they got screenshot.
These are small victories for them. I don't care if it's kindergarten. If your son is excited he going to first grade, celebrate that. You know what I mean? Because we have a tendency, there's so much hate going on in the world. We always looking for something to hate and something to knock. Nah, we want to celebrate all of that here at Urban Excellence.
That was on Instagram at Inked and Locked.
Inked and Locked.
Okay. Shout out to you. I think that was your daughter, I think.
Okay.
Graduating. Shout out
okay,
to you.
we want to celebrate these young people.
Definitely.
They work hard, man.
Yo, I was talking about this when it's graduation season, I'm always like inspired, proud, and annoyed because I kind of, people kind of overdo it with the graduation thing, and I get it. You're proud, you worked hard, but it's also part of me that kind of just knows the other side of it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I kind of, but at the same time, when they talk about and they listen their achievements, I'm like, that took a lot of discipline.
Absolutely.
To achieve that.
Absolutely. So, and we always want to,
yeah.
Because what's important to young people may not be as important to you,
right.
Because you've walked the walk already.
Right.
So ahead of them are challenges,
yeah.
And you have to prepare them somewhat, but don't crush their dreams.
Yeah, that's why I don't say nothing.
They want to go to college,
yeah, don't say nothing.
And and get out there, and you say go for it. Because the greatest lessons are the lessons you're going to learn on your own.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you what the experience is going to be, but until you experience it yourself,
facts.
Then that's the only way you truly know. So when young people are coming to me and they saying, yo, Brother Dot, I'm going to go here and I'm going to do that. I'm like, do that shit. Do that shit. Facts.
Somebody in the chat said I'm 25 going on 60. That has been a problem I've had forever.
Yeah. Malcolm at the age of 5 was a 35-year-old man. And he used to embarrass me so much because I would come on the block with him and he wouldn't speak to nobody. Even at an early age. They'd be, hi, Malcolm. He'd just be like, whatever. And I should be like, yo, Malcolm, I know that lady for 20 years. Yeah. Please speak to her. I used to have to prep him before we got on the block. Yeah. Malcolm, it's going to be a whole bunch of people that say hi. He just had this serious Malcolm X shit about him. Like, shit is rough out here in the world. I'm like, nigga, you 7. We just watched motherfucking Ed, and Eddie. And now so. Yeah. But that's the burden of a lot of young people. But don't grow too fast because there are, don't. You think you want to get old and you don't appreciate every step of the way and what you have here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
So, station identification, sir.
Yeah, station. You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X. So,
let's get into some ratchetness.
Okay, we're gonna get into a little ratchetness real quick.
So, Tekashi 6ix9ine, we've talked about him many a times on this show.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Right now, he's beefing with Chief Keef.
Now, listen, I may not know a lot, but I do know Chief Keef is a problem.
Yeah.
Okay? Them Chicago dudes don't play. And from a long time ago, when I heard his name, I was like, bruh.
And then, he was talking about him. And then he was talking about, I'm in New York. Chief Keef actually went to New York.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
He came to New York
and
not even thick.
Yeah, and then Tekashi went to LA. So
so he's actually chasing him, is he not?
I think so, because I think
Chief Keef now is in LA. Yeah. This level of beef is getting out of hand. All right,
But
usually
but it's like he's trying to die, yo. Like
it does appear to me, ladies and gentlemen, that this kid has a death wish, or he's one of them disagreeable spirits. He's one of them indigo childs who've come here to cause havoc. I told you he was the Joker, right? And the Joker kept telling Batman, fucking kill me already. Why won't you kill me? And Batman was using a whole bunch of moral rules and, no, I will not kill you. I will put you in prison. And all that shit. And the Joker was like, I'm pure chaos. You know what I mean? I'm undefinable. I'm chaos and you're order.
Right.
Right? You trying to do things in order and I'm pure chaos.
Yeah.
And this is what we're seeing with Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Right? He's a Cancer. 6 and 9 is the Cancer symbol. So he's a Cancer. The question is he a Cancer for what?
And it's kind of ill because it's like him doing this, he's kind of pulling everybody's card.
Come on in here. Peace. We getting this popping right away. We're going to do this hood booger style.
You know what it is. What's up?
Oba's in the building. Strap up, put your little clip on. And let's clap that up right away. Ladies and gentlemen, Oba is in the building.
How you doing? What's up?
How you feel?
I'm good.
Yeah. So we was talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine
You familiar?
and how Chief Keef is traveling trying to find this dude. Does this dude have a death wish? Because he's challenging everybody. I said he's chaos. He's like the Joker. You know what I mean? He keeps saying, come get me. And ain't nobody coming to get him yet. Or is it just all promotion?
Well, I think it's it has a lot to do with the nature of hip hop right now. It's advertisement. And so I think it's a change, like when you hear the Pills talking about the changing of the guards, we're getting to a point where
bring this up a little higher. Right up about right there.
We're lightening up the blueprint of the rapper. So they're feminizing it, right? And then they're lightening up the skin. So they're about to take the music away from us again.
Okay.
Right? Because this is the longest that we've had a music that we've had a grip on.
That was ours.
Yeah, you figure jazz is popular from the late 20s into maybe the 50s, right? But in that, it changed. So you got bebop, you got avant-garde, right, big band. And so at a certain point now, you can't go to a jazz club and see a bunch of black bands. You're going to see mostly white people doing it. Right. Same thing with rock and roll.
And sometimes if you do see a black band, it's only white people there supporting that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Yeah. Even with the hip hop, you figure all of the quote unquote legends, they got to go out of the country
overseas
to get that bag because they can't get it here.
Right.
So you looking at a change of the guards. First of all, he's from supposedly my neighborhood.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So this is not the paradigm that I know. From when you say Bed-Stuy, like there's a dude with colorful hair. I don't know. And I know some dudes that they running with him, but 20 years ago they wasn't really the guys.
Yeah.
You feel me? They just riding off the frequency that the neighborhood built.
Got you.
Right? So people be like, "Oh, Brooklyn all day." I be like, "What are you talking about? There's people with cafes and walking their dog and all kinds of shit. That ain't the Brooklyn that you talking about that people with cabs wouldn't go."
Right.
Now all the cabs go there. Like it's more traffic going from Manhattan into Brooklyn than
ever. Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So you figure like this dude, I be. Like, I don't like to necessarily verbalize all of my conspiracies, because last time motherfuckers was all upset.
Oh, with the Tupac
shit. They was like, oh my God, and he's a fucking punk and sucker. And
he said something about Tupac like just now, and I was like,
slow down.
Yeah, like, and I got my own conspiracy theories. It even goes further, like with the whole Tupac thing. My issue is not so much of, and it's the same paradigm. A dude who's playing the role of a super thug, right? And he's stirring up the pot. Everybody's reacting to him, right? Because that's the nature of the Black Mirror today. Like it's the trolling thing, and you got to get people stirred up and they getting followers, and people will just follow you just to hate on you. They just to follow your page and be like, I hate your guts. Like,
Right. Yeah, that is the era we in. Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so, you know, I don't pay much mind to it. It's a gimmick. Because if you listen to the music is not that great.
Facts.
And I ain't hating on the dude, but it's not great. He don't got no quotables. Ain't some shit that I'm in the shower trying to sing. I be like, I don't know what the fuck he talking about.
He had one song that I don't even know what he was saying.
No, all his songs sound like that. He has like 7 songs
and
on the
all
track.
sound like that.
All
He's just
sound like
yelling
that.
into the track.
And so you gotta. And so why is it that everybody is submitting and complying to him? So even like, you know, I mean, I understand. I don't wish no other rapper to get wrapped up and do some stupid shit to be fucked up in the game. No, don't do that, but ignore him.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, ignore him because it's the kids' music, but it's what's called trendy, right? And so trendy is like when you see somebody like, for an example, this young woman years ago told me that. She was like, you got to dress classic as opposed to trendy. And I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, you see those Parasuco jeans that everybody wearing? She was like, in another year, they're going to go out of style, right? But they're dated. So when you see the jean and you try to wear it again, oh, you wearing 2 years ago, right? Which keeps the consumerism going. Like, you got to keep buying the new shit.
Absolutely.
That's trends, right?
Right.
Whereas opposed to a label like Polo, it's a classic label. Like, it's made
for forever.
Yeah. And it has different genres of clothing. It got sportswear, it got this, it got that. So what happened is urban sportswear, we had a hold on it for a moment, right? You had cross colors, right? You know, and most people are not aware that most of these guys piggybacked off the last one. So cross colors put Carl Kanai on, right? Carl Kanai comes through and he opens up the way for Enichi and Mecca and all of these other labels.
Fubu.
Right, Fubu. And so what happened was the industry, the fashion industry saw that their labels were being pushed away and they had to comply. So that's when Ralph Lauren came out with Polo Sport,
right,
RL Sport,
right,
all of these subsidiary lines to compete with the Fubu and the Mecca and all of that. So then it became. Now we're back to the fashion houses of Italy, Gucci, Louis, Fendi. You can't even go in that store. What are you worrying about that shit for?
Absolutely.
Right?
That's a good point.
And so it's really just a commercialism thing. So hip hop, we talked about that before. Puff is a genius because he saw the direction that the music was going in. It's not going in music. It's going in advertisement. So he put it. So you got to pay attention. So he starts dissolving the record label. And now he got this liquor. So now he's managing these groups, but they're Ciroc boys.
Absolutely.
So now in their songs,
they're promoting commercials.
Absolutely. So whereas normally you got to pay for a commercial on the radio, he got you playing the song on the radio. It's a commercial, and you're gonna pay him for the spins.
Yes.
Right. So he's getting his money and he's using the rappers to promote his liquor. So now he puts them on a tour. It's a Ciroc tour. I put a banner in the back.
Right.
I get a couple of promoters to promote some parties, and they're gonna sell the liquor and give it out. And before you know it, now Ciroc it's a household name.
Absolutely. As
a liquor, it doesn't have that much time in the liquor game.
For it to expand that fast.
Yeah.
Exactly. So now people, I don't know if y'all remember, it was a time back I said something about Jack Daniels.
Yes.
So now they got the Uncle Nemus.
No,
yes.
We were talking about that.
Yeah, we did a show on that.
We talked about that.
Right.
Yes.
They're using that because the Jack Daniels label is going to have to be dissolved in a minute because the creek is drying up. They ain't telling you that.
Oh.
The creek where they make the whiskey from is drying up. So if you purchase Jack Daniels now, several years from now, those bottles will be worth money because there's not going to be any more Jack Daniels.
Yeah, right.
They're going to put all their money.
Let's clap that up. Shit. That's a funk flex bomb.
That's a gem.
If I had the funk flex bomb, I'd drop that. So we're gonna go with the clap.
I'm about to buy Jack Daniels.
So now they're steering it into the Uncle Nemus thing.
So they're transitioning.
Absolutely, they're smart.
They transition it, and then they give you the story because the lady who took it over. Beautiful story on how.
Absolutely.
So now they give you the backstory. So now you feel connected.
Yeah. It worked.
It shit worked.
It worked.
So they're gonna dissolve it into from Jack Daniels into this label, and now it's gonna become a household label. And when you think of whiskey, you're gonna think, oh, get the Uncle or whatever, Nemus or whatever it is, right? That's marketing. So you see these dudes, the dude Kenny Burns that's promoting it is from Puff Team. He come out of that team.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you gotta pay attention to how they selling everything, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta even in terms of this guy, Tekashi 6ix9ine, he got the tattoos on the face and all that. So what's on television? Black ink.
Right.
They promoting tattoo shops. Right? It's an advertisement game. They understand that now. Right? So the music, the reason why we're not getting a hold of the music is because we're still looking at the old paradigm of a record label. Why do you need a record label? There's no such thing as records anymore.
Right.
What do you need a record label for and there's no more records? Right?
Facts.
So you're looking to get signed to a label for them to do what you could do on your own. That's why they did the net neutrality thing. They shut down the Instagram and the Facebook because people making money on it.
Too much.
It's like the gold rush.
Right.
Yes.
So, Tekashi 6ix9ine is just another gimmick. It'll go away. I mean, can you see this 15 years from now?
No.
Obviously not, yeah.
So now we're going to ask you a question because you got here just a little black man tallish. That's all right.
Yeah, I had to get some time. Yeah, you already know, coming from Jersey.
Yeah. What do you think? Did you listen to the new Kanye project? And then we're going to get into the Pusha T shit, but,
Same shit. It was promotion. He did all of that TMZ shit to sell his album. He had the most streams. He got everybody in the huff. What? So now you want to know what he's talking about. And he's like, oh yeah, I turned TMZ into a smack DVD.
He sure enough did say that.
Oh, he's smart. And he's got a label. He got good music. So it's Pusha T himself.
Him and Kid Cudi.
That's tomorrow.
Nas and Tiana Taylor.
Yep.
Who got her own show on VH1 right after Love and Hip Hop and all of that.
Yep.
So son, it's marketing,
he
man.
Smoked that.
It's marketing.
Yeah.
Like everybody got in the huff. You can't be serious. First of all, his mother is a professor, a black studies professor. Let's be clear. He's born conscious. He's been talking that shit before anybody. He got Jay-Z in them. Even when you see Jay-Z with the unplugged, with the red, black, and green on in the
Kanye got him in that.
That's it. It's all. They what they do is they're doing it right now with the conscious shit.
Yes.
They're doing it with the conscious. Oh, stay woke, and they're using these buzzwords and all of that, right? So that they can acquire the culture and then regulate it.
And sell that shit back to you.
So now, before you know it, niggas will be buying black soap and it'll be a white company.
Right.
I gotta get that black soap, right? I gotta get the jasmine on. I
Shea
gotta
butter,
get the yoni. All of that is gonna be. They're gonna get a hold of it because they see how much money is. Yeah.
Facts.
You feel me? And so it's marketing. And so the one thing that people gotta understand is the whole world is a stage in the market. Everybody's lying. Right? And it's a good lie because I got the best tomatoes. It might not be the best, but I gotta sell them.
Facts.
Right? So in my culture, they talk about they refer to the world as a giant market, and people are haggling and bargaining
in the market.
Absolutely.
To get ahead in life.
Absolutely.
And so
networking. Who do you know?
Networking. Who do you know that you can plug me into that I know?
Yeah. Who you got the good juju man? Let me go see him. It costs money to get the good juju man. After a while, once his name becomes a certain thing, then it becomes exclusive. Look, I can't see you because I gotta eat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Feel me? And so the whole world is a marketing plan. They're selling everything. And we are in the stage, we're in America, it's the consumer and capital of the world.
Get these shirts. Urban X TV.
You feel me?
UrbanX.NYC.
You gotta sell something, man.
Get these shirts.
And you know who put me onto that? I'm gonna keep it humble. You know I gotta give it up to my people. A.A. Rashid.
Yep.
Shout out to A.A. Rashid.
Shout out to the God. A.A.
A.A. Rashid was like, yo, you gotta monetize it. You have to have product, merchandise to sell people. Cause I don't sell nothing. You come get a reading and keep it pushing. I ain't gonna sell you no shit. I can sell you some herbs and put some shit in. I'll pray.
Bag of voodoo rocks and shit, right? It's like these voodoo rocks, nigga, top notch. You can get these rocks, you can get these rocks. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And so, you know, I got a bad temper, so I can't be selling you no bullshit. Because you run down on me, we're going to get into a squabble. Just like that. Like, yo, you sold me something, we're going to get the squabble. You feel me? I ain't going to try to haggle with you. You know what I mean? It ain't going to hurt me. Fuck out of here with that shit. So I don't do that shit. So that's why I'm doing the book thing. So everybody's asking when the book is in edit right now.
Oh, beautiful.
See, again, I'm not into just selling product. What I put my name on, I believe in.
Well, you know something? I feel the same way, King. And that's why we limit what it is that we do sell. Yeah. I want to make sure if I sell you a book or a shirt, it's something that we really believe in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that you don't come back to me or you feel we one of those hustlers. Oh, these niggas is hustling. I don't ever want to be involved. That's my dog Bowser. He likes to be on the show from time to time.
Absolutely. Gotta get it up.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's the same thing. You know, I want to make sure there's something of quality, of value that we're selling you, so you know. You know what I mean?
You got a release date in mind?
Not even. I did. I'm in the wind. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm always moving. I'm in and out the country.
Let's talk about that too. I know that you're on your way back to Cuba.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like 8 or 9 times already.
Is each experience different, or now
time.
you've just?
Oh, I'm saying I've been comfortable.
Right.
When the first time I was there for 21 days. That's short of a month. So it wasn't like I was there, hi, and then I left. Like I really got to see people. So you see somebody the first week, they're like, hi.
Next thing is like,
next week they're like, yo, what up?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you still here, motherfucker? Right. So the love is genuine.
Right.
So I'm good over there. Like when it's my godmother. I go stay in her crib. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I'm not on a resort. I'm not watching the little shows with the people dancing and trying to tell you the culture. Get the fuck out of there with that shit.
Right, you actually on the
You're actually on the grill. Because I see people go to Cuba, and I remember you were doing the interview here with my pops, and you were just talking about people like standing next to the vintage cars just for pictures, or doing this just for pictures.
They're going to go to the Cohiba factory. They're going to drink a mojito. Okay, cool. But what else? I mean, it's not that type of place. And every place is not to be exploited by capitalism. See, that's the thing that we got to understand. Some places are just sacred, right? And let the people do what they do. Now, they've been infected by the capital bug. Them motherfuckers be selling, they sell everything. You feel me? But their way of life is different, right? It's not like DR. So you go out there and girls ain't just like, oh, what, you want to buy something? Nah. It's not like that. And I be feeling some kind of way, like dudes be like, oh, I went to DR. And I'm like, yo, you just went and exploited the people.
Basically.
You over there buying their daughters and, you know what I'm saying? You scumbag. Right. What is that?
Exactly. That's some scumbag shit. And that's a fact. That's a fact.
I
heard a whole bunch of dudes, yo, $5. I'm like, Diddy over there for $5. And I'm like, yeah, that's some scumbag shit.
Yeah, because they don't really like you.
Right.
It's like marrying a stripper. You know what I'm saying? Does she really like you because you got the bag? Which one is it?
Which one is it?
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so, when they go over there, people want to go over there and exploit. And, our people especially, we have this thing about living lavishly. So we want to go somewhere where our money spend a little longer and we could floss on niggas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We was on the jet ski and all that shit. Shit was $10. The fuck you talking about?
Yeah. And it's funny because I went to Mexico, right, for the first time, and I was in the bathroom taking a leak, and the guy, he jiggled his ching like, hit me with change, and I didn't have no change, so I reached and I gave him $5. And the way he looked at me when I gave him the $5 bill was like, oh shit.
Yeah, he about to stack up. The freezer gonna be.
So wifey will tell you, I was Diddy. I was giving niggas $5. Nigga, you get $5. But not just you get a $5. Yo, I just started because I didn't understand the significance.
Yeah, that's just a lot of money.
That's a lot of bread.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was my Diddy moment. I spoke to you about my crack dealer moment. That was the Diddy moment. I was letting $5 win.
And it's good for us to go and travel the world. But not to go and be at the pool and with the Mai Tai acting like we Rick Ross MMG. Come on, man.
Right. Go visit the people and absorb the culture.
Go get the culture and maybe, start a relationship with somebody that you can send them money once or twice a month or something. You send them $20. That shit's bad.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Cuba is one of the places, like I said, everybody go.
Yeah.
You know, I be seeing them there, but I don't even interact with them. Not even to put them on, because the motherfuckers be trying to act like you said, like they did it.
Right.
You know, where are you in Cuba, right? But the thing about Cuba is the money don't spend long out there. The money don't spend long. It ain't like DR.
Oh, okay.
So you take $100 American bill and you change it into a Cuban comparable dollar, and they gonna take 20%, and you gonna get $80.
Ooh.
Okay.
Let's
and so
keep that
when
in
they
mind.
see you, they like, you got them cooks on you, homeboy. I don't want no pesos, homie. Let me get that cook, that comparable dollar. See, and it's like I said before, it's one of the safest third world countries you ever go to. Ain't nobody gonna book you.
Oh, okay, okay.
They might hustle you.
But they ain't gonna just
They ain't
straight
gonna
up-
pull out no knife and be like, give me your wallet or no shit like that.
Got you.
You feel me? And if they do, it'll be against some pilgrims. Feel me? They'll cut. I seen them cut the strap for the pocketbook and take the white lady pocketbook and take off.
just
And
take off.
sandals. Niggas with sandals. Niggas hungry. Feel me?
Yeah.
But it's like I said, the moving around and all that, I haven't been able to necessarily come with an actual date. But the book is finished. The concepts is all there.
Beautiful.
I'm just waiting to put it together. I don't want to just put any old thing out. You know what I'm saying? It got my name on it. So, we're going to take our time.
We're gonna clap that up.
We'll definitely get that a read.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
All right.
And when it's ready, we're gonna bring the guard back up. Let him hold it up. Be like, hurry up and buy.
Yeah, because I ain't giving it to Amazon and nothing.
Oh, okay.
I ain't giving it to them.
Got you.
You got to get it from me.
Yeah, that's the way Rashid does his shit.
Absolutely. That's why I follow, you follow the burn the
his
trail,
template.
you follow.
I've learned a lot, about just appreciating the value of my art from Rashid. So when I had 10 books left of the original Hip Hop Decoded that I put out 15 years ago, I said, these got to go for 100 a stack.
Absolutely.
And the people, they left in 3 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I thought he was bugging.
And that was...
I thought he was bugging. I was like...
Facts. I was like, $100.
Facts.
And he was like, Dad, 100. I said, yo, $100.
Straight face.
I'm not gonna sell these no more. It's the last 10. And the people appreciated that and it just flew out of here.
Well, you understand that every artist, when you stay an artist, right? Every artist is only as good as the art promoter or the person who's sponsoring him.
Right.
They're the one that's gonna go in these dinner parties and be like, yo, this shit is the best shit ever.
That's why art dealers are so corrupt. That's why the whole art, because they set the price. Yeah, right.
So if so what happens is with your art, if you set it at a certain standard, and then somebody come along and be like, you know what, I believe in that shit. That's what it becomes.
Like who was it? Nipsey Hussle was selling his mixtapes
$100
for $100.
Jay-Z bought a whole gang of them.
He bought 1,000 of them shits.
You feel me?
Just like I appreciate that work with a straight face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the price, like you said, what you believe in, because Diddy just bought a living artist, black artist, worth for $21 million.
Who which was his name?
I'm not sure of his name, but I know
Albassa or one of them.
Diddy purchased it, and it was the largest acquire of
a living artist. Yep.
Black artist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like what's his name?
Basquiat
and shit. So I thought that was big.
But again, like that's always I always wondered about that. Like who determines
the universe? Fuck it. Whatever you feel it is.
No, but I'm saying like prior to me knowing about how like art dealers get down. You know what I'm saying? Because if you study that, like they really are. That's one of the most like corrupt industries because they get in with an artist or whatever. They go and they all kind of agree that this one is famous. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna rock with him.
Go splash some shit, and they go, "Oh my god."
Well, that is not even just what you splash; it's the backstory behind it.
They selling the backstory.
Yeah. Like I was in the street, and one day some dudes threw hot coffee in my face, and I was inspired. And then you know what I'm saying? Like
then I did this shit.
And then I did this shit. And so this is about the day that the bum put the hot Dunkin' Donuts in my face.
Yeah, okay. It's just all I forgot his name. He's best son author, and he was trying to he wrote the manuscript. Everybody denied him, right? So he threw it out, committed suicide. No, he put it in his drawer, committed suicide because nobody picked up his book. His mother found it. They got it published. He's a bestseller. It's the same book.
Same fucking book. Yeah. But now he's
It's,
dead.
it's a exactly.
It's a
It's a story
connected
behind
to
it. Yeah.
Well, that's why Jay-Z can appreciate a Nipsey Hussle, because here it is, he had a good body of work that they took to places and it was like, yo, this shit is garbage.
Right.
And so reasonable doubt, like, and that's my argument with people about when they call about the quote unquote the greatest rappers of that era, right? The reason I'm not a B.I.G. fan because I'm from Brooklyn. Understand that. There's a bunch of niggas from Brooklyn. I'd be like, them niggas whack. You feel me? Beat it. Like, I don't even say Brooklyn no more, right?
Right.
But B.I.G. is different because of all of the other rappers. So, like, when you think about classic albums, right? When you make a classic album, it is very hard to outdo that first classic.
Absolutely. You spend your whole life sometimes trying to outdo that album.
So now, I don't know if, and that's just my opinion. Life After Death, I mean, Ready to Die is a classic album. It was classic. But Life After Death is better than that shit. Life and Times of Sean Carter ain't better than Reasonable
Ain't
Doubt.
nothing to me, Reasonable Doubt.
Blueprint.
Maybe.
First Blueprint.
Nah.
That that Reasonable Doubt.
That Reasonable Doubt, it has it's nostalgic, and it's really it's a romanticized gangster story.
Yeah, and I always said he was telling that story from a boss perspective.
Right. Yeah.
Biggie was telling his shit from on the dirt.
Yeah, Biggie was telling his shit from a thug's perspective, not a hustler. So like, there's different types of dudes in the street. You got a dude that he sells some crack because somebody got it and it's coming easy, right? But if the plug ain't there, he ain't going looking for it. He don't know how. The first thing about it, he couldn't tell you how good the work is or nothing. So now if he lose the plug, he going back to robbing.
Right.
That's what B.I.G. talking about. B.I.G. comes from a robbing background, like street robbers. Jay-Z's not a robber. He's like, oh, I got a pack and some fresh sneakers, right?
And it pops off.
Exactly. So now, Illmatic is a classic album. It was written as classic, but it ain't better than Illmatic. Feel me? So how many second? Well, okay. So now when you look at the Fugees, their first album is not a classic album.
Right.
But the score is a classic album. That's a different dynamic.
Right,
you understand?
because you grew into that.
Yeah.
You had to work into that. But a lot of times that first strike, and a lot of times because you've been waiting so long to drop that. You know, you get a lot of dudes. Like for me, the first Wu-Tang album, I can hear the hunger. Yeah. I can hear they ordering pizza, niggas
sleeping on the floor.
You can imagine the lint on the army jacket.
Yes.
And sleeping on the couch and shit like that.
When the W album came, I could tell niggas wasn't hungry no more.
Not at all.
Niggas had separate deals.
Right.
Niggas was glossy. I could hear it.
You could tell that it was the songs was comprised. Like they had to get somebody in the studio. And they might not have been in the studio with the other one.
The first one you could tell like they were like one was in the booth, one was waiting. I'm about to get him. Yeah, I'm about to get him.
I'm gonna hit him with this. Absolutely.
Like I was telling Eli about Get Rich or Die Trying, because I listened to that again and I was like, yo, this was different.
Yeah. Now what's crazy is his first album, Power of the Dollar, is dope.
But it ain't that.
But it ain't better than Rich or Die
Trying.
You feel me?
I was like, yo, this was just mean. Like you could
feel it.
Yeah.
And so that, and so when you talk about because the whole rap conversation is blurred. What are we categorizing? Are you categorizing club music? Because there's some songs that I don't care how ignorant they are. That shit in the club it's
a banger.
That shit is life, nigga.
Yeah,
that shit is life, right? They ain't saying nothing. I can't study to that music. I'm not riding, you know what I'm saying, a train ride or a plane listening to that shit. Right. And that's the thing. That's the thing about the music and the radio. Like when you start hearing party songs during the daytime, that's a problem.
Right. And it was a time when they only played certain songs at night.
Exactly.
Because they were more...
Because you going out, you getting ready to go out.
Ready to get dressed, right.
In the middle of the day, I don't want to hear no fucking... You're a walking trophy. I don't want to hear that.
Right.
I'm not in the club. I'm not fitting to wind up on nobody.
But in this day and time, it's all...
all the time.
All the time.
And it's vulgar.
It's very vulgar.
So I'm listening to Hot 97 and Flex is going in about Pusha T and Drake, and my daughter's in the car and I'm like, I gotta turn it off because they're talking crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
On radio.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's a time and a place for everything.
Facts.
And we've gotten to become a decadent society where everything goes.
Definitely.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yes.
And so there's no handle on anything. Like I said, there's no problem with the ignorant songs. Tekashi 6ix9ine, that's fine, but it shouldn't be on the radio.
It's a place and time for that. Like strip songs, you know, these shits just banging the strip club. This shit is a banger, but it's a banger for the strip club.
I'll give you an example, and you can attest to this. When Lottie Dottie came out, it took maybe a year and a half before it ever hit the radio.
Yes. Yes.
Before it hit the radio, before they would play it on the radio, you only could hear it at the jam.
Yep. Or
Because it had curse words
you
on
had a
it.
tape or something.
Yeah.
And it was a live performance.
Exactly.
When it hit the radio, it was cleaned up. I didn't even like the radio version because I was so into
the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so it took a year and a half, because this is when a record would last a year.
Yes. An entire year.
It don't last a day now.
No, you got a week. You got a fucking week. And I'm like, on to the next.
Drake put out this record, Pusha put out, and everybody's like, all right, Drake,
Yeah.
you got 3 days.
You got 3 days.
Well, see, the thing about it is, because he was so vehement with Meek,
Yeah.
Let's talk
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
Pull that up. You got anything there?
he was real vehement with Meek. He came right with back to back, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when Pusha T came and pulled your card, he kind of slowed up. And that beat for that was that Duppy shit? Nah, it's not.
But that's what everybody thought it was something that was coming, because everybody's like, oh, that was the charged up. But I thought, personally, I thought if he was to try to come back with a back to back, it wouldn't have landed anyway. Like with a party diss record, I don't think it would have landed.
Only if the beat would have been like, you know, I'm a Nas fan over Jay-Z. I could tell you the day that I heard Nas. I was in detention in high school in art and design, me and my man. And my man was listening to what was that? Lost Professor, Breaking Atoms. And he was on headphones, and he was like, I remember he stopped the tape. Like, yo, son, you gotta hear this. I'm like, what? He put the headphones on my head, and I heard, from the very first time I heard Nas, I went to Hell for Snuffing Jesus. I was like, this nigga's different.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Think about some shit like that.
Right.
Like, what? So, from the very first time he ever picked up a pen, son was just nice.
Yes.
Like, he couldn't really outdo himself anymore.
Right.
Like, you understand what I'm saying? And so, hearing that song, I was like, oh, this nigga's Nas is nice. He's one of my favorite rappers. Now, Jay-Z, because I'm from Brooklyn, I got a certain, okay. But I like Nas more than I do Jay-Z. But let's be clear. But Ether, to me, most people gravitate towards it because of the beat.
Of the Ether?
Absolutely. That beat is crazy.
It's cinematic.
It's cinematic. It's sinister.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And
so
he said, fuck Jay-Z.
That shit killed him, because niggas forgot that he had made a response that didn't get no win.
Right. I heard about
over the paid in full beat.
Right.
Niggas was like, nah, son. You can't do Rakim right now. We're not gonna go with that.
Right.
So then Jay-Z came out with the shit with the baby seat and all that. Niggas got personal because they felt the way like, yo, I got a baby mother. I don't want her man dropping nothing. You know what I'm saying? So they felt the way. So it was a sympathetic thing. But then when he dropped Ether, the beat, it cleaned Jay-Z up, cleaned him up, right? And so the beat means a lot when you got a beef. When Tupac did hit him up, he took the Get Money remix,
which was heat.
Right, it was stirring up in the club, and then he took it and was like, that's why I fucked you. What? Oh my God.
It was a rap.
You feel me? Like what?
It was a rap.
And so everybody's talking about how Pusha T is talking about his kids, but they forgot that Pac set that standard. Pac's the one that was like, that's why I fucked your bitch, nigga. You fat motherfucker.
And prior to that, remember, right, Pac said that, I fucked your wife. Prior to that, you had MC Shan, Karis One Clean. They'd
be like, you sniffing coke and your sneakers is weak and you a punk.
Dre Day? No?
Dre Day.
He talked about Tim Dog's moms.
Tim Dog's moms and Drake's moms. Talking about Frisco Dyke or something.
Uncle Luke's moms.
Yeah. So it started getting a little...
Right.
And No Vaseline by Ice Cube.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But they didn't go into family.
cross the
like
line.
your mother is... That's a That's a mission. Like
that's a
everybody,
snap, right.
That's a snap.
From school.
From school, yeah. Your mother got a big head, this, that, shit. Yeah.
So most motherfuckers, by the time they get to be in junior high school, they got a thick skin about that. Like my mother, what?
But my kids or my wife or
my illegitimate kid.
Yeah, yeah. Shit.
With a porn star.
Yeah. Ooh.
Let her be your world.
Yeah, let her be your world. Yeah.
Oh, that was terrible. Oh my God! Like the dude Trevor from the Daily Show.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, they gotta hire this nigga for the campaigns. This nigga got all the dirt on him. Like, who he got working for him? Like, I want to know everything about Drake. Like, everything. So, like people, we have a very short attention span and memory.
Yes. For real.
Facts.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time here. Like,
Facts.
we, when it comes to like nostalgia, we either we either romanticize it or we don't really respect it.
Absolutely.
No, we don't really see it for what it is anymore.
Well, they changed the narrative because somebody, usually who's not involved, is commenting on these things. Mm-hmm. Like the dudes that they got that are hip hop writers.
Yeah.
I can't see Torre in no jam back in the 80s.
Absolutely.
He'll get robbed.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know him. Maybe he got some gangster cousins and that didn't happen to him. I don't know. But he looked like the dude that'd be like, yo, son, what you got? Run in your pockets.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was telling Malcolm, if you ain't from Cedar Park, or I was telling Wifey, for me, because I'm from Cedar Park, where Herc and them did this shit, and when them Brooklyn niggas showed up, and your butthole got tight, nigga, because them niggas rolled fucking thick, and the motherfuckers from Brooklyn didn't give a fuck. Them niggas make you tuck your chain in your own borough, nigga, unless you was Zulu Nation.
That's a fact.
So, and so if you in a professor, me and Wifey was talking about it, these professors now teach these college courses on hip hop, and they ain't been to a jam in the park, I don't respect you. I'm sorry.
Yo, let me tell you, I started going to the clubs when I was young, like 13. I was tall. So my cousin, I'll be in the group. Back in the day, they ain't looking.
Right. Yeah.
Pay the man, right? And so I went to Emerald City right after it was Red Parrot. It went from Red Parrot to Emerald City. I was in those clubs. I was in the Muse. I was in Red Zone. I went to the Palladium in those years, like late 80s, early 90s, because I could sneak in the club with my cousin and them. And my cousin and them had clout. One of my cousins, he used to be with the Wild Pitch parties back in the days with the house and all that, and the Sound Factory and shit like that. And so niggas forgot, there was a moment that hip hop didn't have no place in the club.
Right.
It was disco.
No, not even disco. After there was a house movement.
At that house movement, and even Jungle Brothers try to jump on that shit for a
absolutely
girl out
house you, yeah.
On my house
so when
now.
you would go to the clubs, niggas wasn't wearing the shit they wore on the block. Niggas was putting on them Zodiac shoes and the slacks with the paisley shirt. You know what I'm saying?
On that house
shit. Yeah, they was on some house shit because if you got to the club, they wouldn't let you in. It wasn't just you come on the line and then you pay. Niggas be like, you, and you be standing out there all fucking night. If you don't know nobody, you be on some Studio 54 shit. They be like you, and you. Or some other dude to walk up with his peoples. It be 20 niggas and they just let him and his mans in. You just standing there. If you don't know nobody.
That sounds like a movie.
I'm serious, yo. Like my first couple years of going to the clubs didn't get no money at the bar. Because niggas is outside drinking 40s on the line.
Right. Getting toasty.
Right? This is the story. This is the history they don't talk about. Right? So niggas is outside drinking 40s. Most of the shit is popping off outside. Right? Now when you get in the club, ain't nobody at the bar. Only drug dealers is at the bar. Real rap. Only drug dealers that look like Orange Juice Jones and them niggas. They got the suits on with the motherfucker. I'm done keeping them up. The Orange Juice Jones niggas, they at the bar with the fly girls.
And shit.
Yeah, you ain't fucking with them niggas, right? And then in the middle of the club, they start a train. Niggas is on each other's shoulders and they going through the fucking club. And they snatching chains and earrings and beating niggas up. You feel me?
Yeah.
You couldn't go to the club like that. It wasn't safe.
Son, I remember.
And so hip hop at that time was in house parties.
Right. Because I remember going to the tunnel and these Brooklyn niggas was so thick and they kept bumping me and bumping because there was so many. I kept acting like I ain't feeling niggas. Boom! I kept looking, nigga look at me in my face and I'm like, looking at the stage like, because Brooklyn was just, they just flexed their muscle on niggas.
Real talk, they be wilding out
and
from
it's
the
enough
train.
for them. They were like, yo, you don't, if you ain't strong enough to keep that chain, nigga, hand that shit over. Hand that shit over.
And don't always be violent. They talk to you like, yo,
Yeah,
my man.
how you want to do this, my nigga?
Come on, son. Like
You already know.
You see all these niggas I'm
You
with?
just be like this.
Real talk. Like, yo, and so
Or I'm
it's
gonna
a
dump you
different.
out.
So now when they talk about hip hop in that environment, right? Because the environment was like that, the music didn't want to reflect that. The music was about being on some nice shit. Niggas want to just party. When you listen to Self-Destruction,
Yeah.
you listen MC Light, she talking about niggas keeping razors under their collar and shit like that. Like, yo, we ain't trying to do all of that because that's what niggas was doing in the clubs at that time, right?
Facts.
And so it was no need to perpetuate the gangsterism or the hoodlum shit because that shit was prevalent in the streets.
Right.
Now it's not as prevalent. And there's a change that happened in the neighborhoods, especially in New York City. When you hear the nigga Raekwon say mad police in Manhattan, that's a statement. Before that, they didn't really, it wasn't too much crime going on amongst each other in the hood. Like the robbers and all that, they go to the city and take money.
Right.
But when it got too tight and the police started tightening up and cameras started popping up, then they was like, all right, it's time to rob the drug dealer.
Right.
And that's when the violence of the mid and early 90s was perpetuated, where it was mostly motherfuckers trying to rob each other. Dice games, for chains in the club, robbing, running up in spots. That was the violence of that era. You understand? So when you see these young boys now and they perpetuating it, what are y'all talking about?
Right.
Ain't no money out there.
Ain't no money out there. Y'all niggas is lying.
Yeah, ain't no money out there. And the dudes y'all got with you, half of them are suckers. And they just down because they down with the set. But back in the days, niggas, you could be hanging out with niggas will rob you.
The Supreme Team, them niggas. The real 50 Cent, them niggas.
Yeah, right. He used to rob his own people,
That nigga
right?
was robbing niggas he knew.
Yeah, niggas
That's
just rob
some
niggas
gangster
will rob
shit.
each other. You understand what I'm saying?
That's some gangster shit.
And like I said, it wasn't like what today. I'm talking. I grew up with sociopaths. So they see you today and they be like, "Yo, chill. What's up, man? You my man. Yo, chill. Leave him alone, son. That's my man." One day, be like, "Yo, son, I like them sneakers. You gonna come up out of those, or I'm gonna make me cut you?" Oh snap! He just changed on me.
Yeah.
I thought that was my homeboy.
Yeah.
Nah, he ain't your homeboy. He booked you. He gonna see you gonna wear your sneakers tomorrow. Like, yo, what up, son?
And look at you.
You feel me? That's different than a dude that's running around bullying people.
Right.
Bullies, after a while, people get fed up and they be like,
And
yo,
they
kill
slap
this
that
motherfucker. Somebody put the battery in some sucker nigga back. Like, yo, you should shoot him, son.
And that's what happened to my main man Ali, was the bully of my block. And he used to like to suck his thumb and fucking rub your ear. That was his shit. Like if the nigga caught me on the way to school, yo, we ain't coming in. Come on, Ali, with this shit. And he would suck his thumb and rub your fucking ear. I don't know where he got this shit, but he was so fucking gangster. Everybody was scared until they gassed some nigga up. You know what I'm saying?
Send them up. You feel
Send
me?
them up.
So this all of this new stuff that's going on today. Cause I be like, I look at the little DVDs and they be talking about my hood is, and it be houses and it be all these fields and I'm like, why these niggas killing each other? Like,
Yo,
why y'all start a baseball team or some shit like
Yeah,
that?
I went to school on Long Island, and it was fascinating. Like, yo, y'all live really good out here.
And
And
you
y'all
still want to
talking
be
on-
thugged
Yeah,
out.
I'm like, y'all live real nice houses, real good communities, man. Like, what's wrong with y'all? And they want to be gangsters, yo.
And
I never understood it.
because the lifestyle and the contrast to authority is alluring to everybody. You
So
feel
when
me?
you see that NWA story,
Yeah,
That
motherfuckers
shit,
be
yeah.
like, yo, I wanna fight back like that too.
right? So
Right.
they vicariously begin to live through that shit.
Exactly.
And then, yeah. 1 second.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Yeah, we try to get it rocking in here. Try
So-
to get it rocking.
Real quick, our urban excellence story of the week
Okay,
comes from Brianna Williams,
okay.
right?
This is. We try to give an Urban X story of the week.
Okay.
A sister trying to do the right thing.
So she, single mother, she graduated from Harvard Law School. After last year, during one of her final exams, she actually went into labor.
Wow. So she went into labor
last year during her final exam. And
doing
then
her final exam, and now she's graduating from Harvard.
Harvard Law School.
Yeah, clap that
Yeah,
up.
clap that up.
Yeah.
Cheat y'all, sister, cheat y'all.
Keep that rocking. You know what I mean? So we want to always recognize.
And shout out to people. I think that was again at Mr. Westbrook.
Mr. Westbrook, keep them stories coming.
Oh, your shirt is in the mail too.
Oh, your shirt is in the mail. Yeah, absolutely.
No,
so
that's positive.
we're gonna go off script a little bit. Let's get to some of them questions because Brotha Oba is here, and you know, if you have some questions, you know, based on spirituality, shit, based on anything, fuck it, ask him how you doing and shit. Ask him if he's single. I don't give a fuck. Just ask him something, and we can kind of get that popping. So hashtag those questions so I can spot them quick. If you have some.
Somebody said negative reversal ritual.
Negative reversal ritual. What does that mean?
What are they?
They said needed.
Needed. Well, all right. So let's be very clear. If you live in West Bubblefuck and you ain't in the tri-state area, I can't do nothing for you.
Okay.
I don't do nothing over the phone. I've said this before.
Right.
I don't do nothing on the phone, on the Skype, and none of that. I'm not gonna give you some recipe to do because you don't have the know-how and experience to use it. You understand?
Right.
The best way is to get at me on the Instagram with a plan. If you gonna come up here, you set an appointment, you find a hotel or whatever, and you come, you get the reading, we'll do what, if you're gonna be here for a couple of days and we could do some stuff for you, cool. But I ain't giving out no spells. So understand that the book that I'm writing ain't no spell book, and ain't nobody gonna get initiated in their house like some people be trying to do. Feel me? They be doing all that
Instant initiation shit. Right?
Yeah, they've been imbued with the spirit from the book and all that shit. I'd be like, all right, my man.
So basically, ask some general questions. Shit.
Oh, and there's something else I want to address too, because I be paying attention to some of them comments, and I be, oh, the brother is obviously anti-traditional and African.
Okay, so let's answer some of those.
That is not the case. I am very aware, and so I'm not bedazzled by Africa. You feel me? Like I know these slaves. I know these slaves. I see them every year at the African Street Festival, at the damn Dance Africa, right? They come out with their kente cloths and all that for the year, right? And then during the rest of the year, they shitting on black people, whatever. And the reality is that when it comes to the traditions that I practice, they were not introduced to us by Africans. Africans was giving that shit to white boys. William Bascom and them niggas was getting the E5 verses in the 1940s. Them Africans wasn't giving it to no black people. They didn't tell motherfucking Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad and them niggas to come on and get some of that E5. You understand?
Right.
So the reason why I wore the Cuba shirt is because, again, I'm not promoting Cuba as a place. I'm promoting it as an idea, right? They took the tradition, and over time, it has morphed into something that is viable for people that live in an urban environment. You understand? You want to put on funny clothes and all that, you're just going to ostracize yourself. And you make it easier for them to come and get you.
Because you've made yourself a target.
Absolutely. You just put a Star of David on you like they did to the Jews in Germany. You feel me? Like, what happens is that this tradition is secret because the tenets and the philosophies are very ancient and are very important to be held and kept. You understand? And so, you know, the people be like, oh, well, he anti. I'm not, but I know Africans is selling shit. Half these dudes, if you ask them when they got initiated, they weren't initiated when they was children. They weren't. The other part is, if you want to take that tradition or that road, then help those people over there. Help them convert the Africans back to the tradition, because there's more Christians in Nigeria than there's any place else in the world.
Yo, I always thought that was wild.
Feel me? So convert Nigeria first. Don't convert over here.
Right.
Yeah, I was always confused by that.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
Because Africans, I was looking at somebody wrote some type of some article. It was on Facebook, and it was talking about somebody's experience, and they were saying that their experience is that white Americans or white people in general have a greater affinity for Africans than they do for African Americans because they are void of the guilt.
Ah, got you.
And so Africans, because their oppression did not come by white faces directly, it comes, the white people in the background, and they done co-opted the chief or the king, and now he's oppressing the people. So they look at it as, oh, black people are wicked and the white people are living well. But they don't know the white boy is the one that pushed the button, because that's the issue with colonization as opposed to racism, right? And so the only people in Africa who can really truly relate to our circumstances is South Africa.
Because of apartheid.
Absolutely, because they know what racism is.
Yeah.
Right? They know that they couldn't get a job because it was given to a white person.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Other parts of Africa, that's not so apparent because the white people own the company that's mining the peso or
And they put
logging
the chief, like
the
you
area.
said, put the chief out in front.
Yeah, he living with the gold forces, riding around with the Mercedes Benz and the flags of his country and all that, and they starving, and they see him as the oppressor.
Right.
So Africans were not so willing to give this tradition to us. They're not even willing to maintain it. They figured it out. Like I got a person on my gram that I was reading some. There's the young woman Amara La Negra. And she was in some traditional clothing for a Cuban dance group that she was in.
Yes.
And people were commenting, and there was a woman from Nigeria said, "Look at that, the people in America, in Miami, practicing my tradition more than the people and purer than the people in my own country. We need to bring you over there to show them."
Absolutely.
Right? Now, that's not to say that there aren't pockets in Yoruba land that still maintain a certain tradition and all that, but they've been compromised because they want money. And so the Ifa situation, Ifa is not the tradition. Ifa is a compartment of the tradition.
Okay.
Okay? It is a compartment. It does not have the antiquity above the tradition. It is a byproduct of the tradition.
Right.
Okay. So now it's become the religion. Ifism, they call it. Right? They write books about this shit. Because they write books, they make money. So what happens is they can bring foreigners in, and foreigners get initiated, and they're gonna buy goats, and everybody gonna eat, and they're gonna get some money. The traditionalist people, they don't really leave the shrines because they're very archaic in their tradition.
In their ways and traditions,
Right.
absolutely.
So they don't write no books, and so they don't have no money. They don't have no trips to Nigeria where you could get initiated for a week and go home.
And go home and shit.
Right? So what happens is everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna go to Nigeria because that's the pure stuff and all that. Okay, like I said, help them convert that country. Right?
Next question.
Somebody asked, what herbs help your spirituality?
But it depends on what it is you're trying to do. We
Jose Martinez.
We have a codified as maybe like 101 herbs that are used regularly that they have identified, and each herb has a malevolent and benevolent property to it. It has a medicinal property. It has a poisoning property, and it has a what they call a treaty, which describes what the plant is used for and some sort of mythology to it and why it's used, right? So it depends on what the spiritual issue is. Then now there's herbs that you can find in the supermarket. Basil is a really good herb. Basil, it cleans away because it has a very pungent smell, right? Pine is an herb. Needless to say, like if you're having a bad spiritual attack or you feel like your house is haunted, pine saw will.
I was going to say, my mother used pine saw.
Yeah, that's an old.
That's something. Yeah, that's an old.
Well, because it. All right, so pine, the pine tree, right? The evergreen, it defies death because it survives the winter. It stays green, right? And so it has this pungent smell to it, which is the spirits. It kind of like dissipates them, okay, and it's very pungent to them, so they don't appreciate it. So you have pine. We have a leaf that, not a leaf, it's a tree that they call. You can find it in the flower shops. It's called rhododendron.
I know how you feel about like when people write about this stuff, because you said in previous interviews that a lot of people don't know what they're talking about. But do you have books that you recommend for
Oh,
people?
absolutely.
Yeah.
The greatest, I would say, academic of this tradition is a white man. It's a white man, Robert Farris Thompson. Robert Farris Thompson is the reason why Jean-Michel Basquiat is so sought after. Robert Farris Thompson, in his book Flash of the Spirits, he mentions a lot about
Flash of the Spirits.
Flash of the Spirit.
Flash
It's a small paperback book. They use it in college in Black Studies. A lot of people, if they're taking a Black Studies course, especially like in Medgar Evers and places like that, they should be familiar with the book. So it's written by Robert Farris Thompson. He wrote several books. His Flash of the Spirits, Faces of the Gods, The Four Moments of the Sun. These are all books that talk about the aesthetics of Congo culture and Orisha traditions. Now, this white man is initiated in everything. Everything that he speaks about, he's been initiated in. He speaks the language. He speaks Yoruba proper. He speaks Lukumi. He speaks Bikongo from the continent, and he speaks the Palo Mayombe Congo that they speak in Cuba. He speaks Creole. He speaks French. He speaks Portuguese. You understand? So people be like, "Oh, this white man." No, he did the work. He actually got initiated, and he has an affinity for this culture. So it is in his heart to try to spread it to us. He talks a lot about Afro-Caribbean and diasporic traditions mainly.
Okay.
Because he was amazed of how much they retain aesthetically. And so in the aesthetics, a lot of symbolism and values are placed in the aesthetics.
Okay.
Okay? So that before the written word, there are symbols. Right? So when you talk about sigilism and all of that, Africans mastered that way a long time ago. What it is people are not familiar with the language of the aesthetics. So they don't know what the symbols are. So when we wanted to talk about symbols and aesthetics and things like that, Robert Farris Thompson is the master. Okay? After him, you got John Mason. He writes books about the tradition from the diasporic perspective. He as well is an initiate.
John Mason?
John Mason, John Mason. John Mason. He's wrote several books. For New World Yoruba Rituals. He's wrote a book called Olokun, Owner of the Sea. I mean, he's got a long list of books.
I got a question. Brother Oba, what can you do if you live with your girl? If you live with your girl
And you're not. You meant to say not.
but you're not sexually attracted to her anymore. Reginald Williams.
You shouldn't have said the name yet.
Oh, well.
I don't know, yeah.
Well, it's in the chat. If you're in the chat, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's a matter of circumstance. Okay. What is the nature of the relationship? Is the relationship a nagging relationship? Are you not getting along? Or it could be other factors. Are you on Instagram looking at the Instagram hotties all day? I mean, that shit will fuck your mind up. Like, you'll be like, wow, look, because I'll be like, where are these girls? I never see them in the street. Ever. I never see them in the street. I'm like, where?
And I was telling Malcolm, I didn't understand the language. Like when the sister's saying you could book me, I didn't know that mean I could buy some box.
Yeah.
I was like, book her? Is this bitch a juggler?
Yeah. They selling the box on
you know,
the
so
box.
he put me up onto the language.
Yeah.
So, or could he be saying like there's a spiritual connection, or can there be a spiritual connection without bumping?
Well, you know what's interesting? I just came from a wedding this weekend. My brother got married, right? And one of his best friends is a white Italian guy, right? Like he's like a cousin to me. He grew up with us in the projects. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. His mother used to be in my aunt's house all the time, so I grew up with him. And he said something real interesting. He was like, if you're getting married, the first question you got to ask yourself is the woman that you're marrying, will she be a good ex-wife?
Wow.
Would she be a good ex-wife? Because if she's a good ex-wife, she'll be a hell of a wife. Right? Because relationships have the ability to burn out.
Facts.
You feel me? And it is really predicated on the friendship of when the person, if your partner if you can tell your partner like, yo, I love you, but I'm not attracted to you no more.
And can we still maintain a relationship?
Absolutely, especially if you have children.
That sounds rough.
Well, that's in the concept of thinking of a relationship as a possessive concept.
Right. And you being young.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So there's a process in which you have to go through some shit before you can, you know what I'm saying, even fathom that shit.
Yo, I mean, real talk, old married couples be having the most interesting sex lives. They be in swingers clubs. They be having the wife be sleeping with the neighbor's husband because they cool and she's attracted to him. And like, you don't know what be going on. These people, they be having dinner parties. They waiting for you to get the hell up out of there for them to get it popping, right? Because at a certain point, again, love ain't got nothing to do with sex. Love ain't got nothing to do with sex. Love is a concept that, you know, you look at the light bulb, and the light bulb got the two prongs, right? And each prong is emitting the same amount of energy. And when both of those energies come to a place, that illuminates that thing in the center. That's love. So you can't really be in love with the other person that's not reciprocating it to you. You're really infatuated with them,
Right.
Or obsessed with them,
Right.
right? So now love. I got homeboys that, God forbid, knock on wood, that if something happened to them, where they became incapacitated and there was nobody else to take care of them, and my homeboys blowing through a fucking straw and blinking, would I wipe his ass? Sure, because I love him. Do I want to fuck him? No. Right? And so you love people, and the love for you allows you to put up with certain quirks about them. But at a certain point, even your parents, you'd be like, all right, enough is enough. I can't fuck with you no more. It don't mean I don't love you, but I just can't fuck with you no more. So now imagine that in the context of a relationship, whereas we got children, we got businesses together, but I'm not really checking for you like that. But I love you, and I don't want nothing else, nothing bad to happen to you. So much so that I love you so much that I really consider your happiness, right? And so, because sometimes people be in denial, like, you know, you didn't sleep with your wife in 6 months or 2 years. There's no connection there. Y'all just roommates, right? And you just holding on to an idea because the idea is that you've been given this paradigm that two people get together, they get married, they have kids, they stay together, and then they die together, right? But sometimes people be like, yo, I had an epiphany. There's some shit that I want to do that you're not about, and so I need to go do that before I die.
Like if they asked me to speak at my ex-wife's funeral, and the first thing I'm gonna say is, "Ain't God good? God is good, ain't he? God is real good."
But again, that whole concept, if she would be a great ex-wife or he would be a great ex-husband, then it would be a great husband.
That's deep. I've never
That's very
heard of that.
Oh my! I had to sit down. We was in the hotel room getting ready for the groom shit. He said that shit. I sat down. I was like, "That's some wild shit."
Yeah.
You feel me? Because in the separation, can we still be amicable?
Right.
Facts.
Yo, I don't.
Or it's gonna be a war.
Right. Because even so, like, let's say we separated, we married, we went to course, we separated. She might have a boyfriend or whoever. My mother just died. I'm hurting. Does she come over and console me? You understand?
Right.
Right? She gonna come over and console me because she know the relationship that I have with my mother. She had the same relationship with my mother or even greater or whatever. So as my friend, are you gonna come over and console me?
Got you.
You understand what I'm saying? Or you're having an issue. Yo, my rent or my mortgage is about to be, all right, we got a couple extra something. Here, take that. That's what when they talk about it takes a village to raise children and all that, that's a communal concept.
It is.
You feel me?
And I notice more older couples have something similar with that. Like they still can hang out. This is my new, hey man, how you doing? This new generation.
Because a lot of people, they have kids with people they don't know.
Yeah.
And you know it's ill because I talk to him about it all the time. Like I've gone to school with people, like girls and guys, they be in relationships the whole 4 years in college with one person, right? Mm-hmm. They break up, and then within like a year, they're pregnant with somebody else's baby, or they're having a baby with somebody else. and then that relationship doesn't work because you don't really know them. Like that relationship that you have with that produced that baby is usually like to get back at the to show like I did move on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, but the other thing is people they're not real with it. Like keep it a buck. Like we hanging out. Look. We gotta play safe because I don't know you like that. I don't know your middle name.
Right.
I don't know if you graduated from junior high school and they just passed you on and shit. Like I don't know this shit. You feel me? All that shit matters to your kids.
Yes.
Culturally, like, do you know the other people? Are you comfortable with their family?
Right.
Like, even if y'all separated, would you be able to go and pick your son up for Christmas while they having Christmas dinner and not get into it with these people?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? All of that. I mean, and again, we at this wedding, and my cousin's getting married to his wife. She has a son. Her son's father is dead. I know him because he came and got a reading from me. So again, her love for him, because that's her son's father,
absolutely.
It's like, yo, you having a problem? I know my husband's cousin. He do something. Go see him.
Right.
So he's in the wedding, sitting next to him. We in the groom's quarters, and my cousin's sitting on one end of the couch. His stepson is here, and the father's right here. And my cousin is playing with his son, and he's not.
Right.
He's enjoying the place, like, yo, this is dope, because he know that the relationship between he and his baby mother has run its course. They got a beautiful son out of it.
Right.
God bless. Now it's time to move on. Now, in moving on, do I have an opinion about who you with? Absolutely. Like, yo, really? Like, son is a little bit of a scumbag. I don't have him around my daughter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to do your thing with him, drop her off over here. Y'all can
wild out.
So you could get to know him, and then you can see the scumbag that I see, and then you can get him up out of here. You understand? But people are stuck on possessiveness. I own you. Where you going? And I went through that too with myself. I was married. My wife, she wasn't, it got to a point she was like, yo, I want to do something different. At first, it was emotionally devastating. But it wasn't emotionally devastating because I was leaving it. It was all devastating because of all of the other factors that was going on in my life. You understand? So I was like, so now you just pulled the covers off of me real quick.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Oh, shit, I'm a little cold now.
Right.
But it ain't your fault. You gotta go. You need the covers, and you going in to sleep in the living room. Okay, then you took the covers. I gotta figure something else out. You know what I mean? And so me and her we still real amicable. That's the homie. Like, we cool because I'm not tripping on her change in emotions. People change, man.
Yeah, and that's why I always say those young relationships in particular, you got to put some time in, and then your relationship goes through different phases.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? What was important then is no longer important.
Well, and
a good back scratch and a fucking sandwich with me and my wife is some real shit right now.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
You got to know what it is that you like. If you're the type of person that hit the ground running and you hit parties and clubbing and all that, then that's your lifestyle. You need a girl that's going to be indicative to that.
Facts.
If you like cuddling and watching Netflix and watching and doing that kind of shit, and your girl going, pick the lint out your belly button, then you find somebody that does that. You feel me? But again, we so caught up in what they advertised us. We so caught up in a fat butt, some big titties. You know what I'm saying? She got the Indian hair and all of that. She's popping. She got 11 million fucking followers on Instagram. Really?
Once all that shit clears, all that dust clears. Next question out there, Eli. What we got?
My name is Malcolm.
Eli, Malcolm, Marcus, all the same shit.
Have you communicated?
My mother used to call me Carl, Chris, Charles, Dwayne. Motherfucker, you know who I was talking to. Get your ass in here. Right? So
somebody said, have you communicated with any other deities outside of Yoruba?
Outside of Yoruba. When I was in Cuba, I went to these old Catholic churches, and they got these saints, and them shits be talking. They attribute it to the saints. The saints are not the cover for their Orishas. It's almost like an avatar in a different reality or a different paradigm. So, an old timer told me this one day. He was like, he was born Gilberto Martinez. That was how he was born, right? 1944. I mean, no, he wasn't born in 1940. He was born way before that. But he was born Gilberto Martinez. In his neighborhood, they call him Nene, right? Then he got initiated, and his ultra name was Baba Elefunke, right? And then they started calling him Baba Funke. And then he started initiating a whole lot of people, and he had a whole lot of godchildren, and they had godchildren, and he became Abuelo, right? And then he left Cuba, and he came to the United States, and that's what he was known as, Abuelo, right? But when he dies, he's still Gilberto Martinez, right?
Right.
People know you from different periods and different progressions and different consciousnesses that you've gained.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So if it's St. Lazarus, if that is the way that the Catholic Church sees him, and that is the paradigm and the story in which he is introduced to them, it's still Babalu Aye, but it's just Babalu Aye over there hanging out with the white people. And the white people and understand, no matter what color the God is, after a certain time, they're going to change the God to the color of the people that's worshiping it.
Facts.
right.
Facts. Facts.
And that's nothing wrong with that, because you have to have a personalization, a connection with that which you worship.
Right.
So in Cuba, it's not hard for them to worship the Black Madonna, because some of these white boys got black grandmothers.
Right.
Right.
See what I'm saying? They can relate to it. So, yeah, so I go in these churches and they got these fucking statues. And them shits is like, they be talking. Like, you get emotional in front of that shit. Like, oh shit. I went to one of them, I saw the saint that my grandmother was confirmed to when she was a little girl. I saw they had a big thing for that saint in this church of Caridad in Cuba. And I got emotional, like, oh shit, I don't see that saint often.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it was a sign that my grandmother was on this journey with me.
Gotcha.
Right? So, you know, but I don't indulge in other things because I'm content where I am. See, a lot of people be grabbing from this and that because they don't like what they get, so they're gonna try to take it apart. That's why I'm very vigilant about the tradition and how, it's one way. Right? Because people want to take it, so they go, oh, well, I don't believe in animal sacrifice, so we're just going to give fruit and vegetables. But that's not how it goes.
That's not how it goes.
Right.
Right? You want to take what you want from it and apply the things that you are comfortable with. Right? So the same thing with the sexuality and women becoming certain priests, and they missed the understanding. So like, originally there were no female Ifa priests because the system is supported by the concept of worshiping a woman, and women don't need to worship women because you don't worship yourself.
Right.
That's in vain. Right? But because of political pressure in a new world and feminism, when the white woman was like, well, why can't I be one, a Babalao? And so they conformed. They said, okay, we're gonna come up with this little system for you and give you this thing right here. Right? And so people like to take shit apart and use it the way they want to. So I didn't indulge in Hinduism. I didn't indulge in Islam. I didn't indulge myself in these other things because I'm content in studying what I have, because it's a lot with just that.
Okay, Queen Pisces Carla said, would you ever consider dating someone not of your same faith or beliefs?
That's a good one.
No.
No, okay.
No. Because if a child is the byproduct of the union, why would I put my children in a space where they have to now be tugged in a different direction in terms of culture? You know what I'm saying? And so my culture is real important to me. So if you don't understand it, there ain't no sense, because we don't believe in the same values. You understand? We don't got the same values. We don't have the same wants and needs. So, okay, you nice, you look good, but that's as far as it'll go.
Have you ever worked with Brother Panic?
Not at all.
Okay, next question.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why, because he be talking greasy about me.
Oh, okay. See, I'll be out of the loop on half this. Let's.
Because he's under the assumption that initiation is not necessary, right? And I don't see how you can be like, You could tell me you read a book on dentistry. That don't mean I'm gonna let you fucking take my fucking wisdom teeth out. You can read all of it, but what experience do you have? What mentor do you have that when you in there taking the molar out and there's a problem, that the person will be like, oh, okay, that's not in the book. I do that. Right? The book is pragmatic, right? But life isn't. If life bends and changes, things happen. You know what I mean? The scalpel might be too sharp and it cut too far in the gum and now the gum is bleeding. How do you stop it? The book didn't say that. So you want to take a book and you want to exploit my tradition. So because you take those symbols and you put them on your t-shirts and you sell them, but you don't involve yourself in none of that. You don't go to Cuba and you ain't working with those people. So how do you now receive monetary value from something that you did not pledge allegiance to? I don't sell no shirts with the crescent moon because I didn't take Shahada. I didn't go to the mosque number 7. So I don't sell their products. I don't sell bean pies. I don't sell anything that has to do with that tradition because I'm not exploiting it. But when you start making t-shirts and you got the t-shirts with the females on it, and then you can't even pronounce the words, you sound ignorant. You're ignoring the fact that there are people who do know, and you're not humble enough to walk up the steps of Shaolin with the buckets of water. You know what I mean? DMX said, learn how to put the weed in the bag first, then get money. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody want to be an instant master. Oh, I read the book and now, I'm doing tarot readings and all that. Okay. So what's going to happen when you gave the person the wrong reading and they on the phone ready to kill themselves? Are you going to take responsibility for that? Right? Because you have not been qualified. You haven't been tested. Right? So just recently, not this weekend, the weekend that just passed, before this one, I was officiating a ceremony. My godfather gave me say, okay, this next ceremony, we're not hiring the orientate. You gonna do it. I was qualified by my elders. These are the people that taught me and watched me to see how I ingested this information and comprehended it and then applied it. If you read a book and you just talking that, you are uneducated. You are unexperienced. And you are a charlatan because you did not pledge allegiance to these things. And so how do you now reap monetary value from them when you don't believe in them? You have no connection to it.
Right.
So he's a thorn in my side in terms of it's contrary to the things that I'm trying to educate people on, because he's going to tell you that you could read the book and you don't need that because the gods are this, that, and the third. But when you ever met any of them? When you was having a sermon, yeah, you had some girlfriend that you talk about that was doing it. But I can tell you right now, those people don't know what they're talking about because I was born in the tradition and I have experience and I know history. So I know who knows what. Right? So yeah, he's a thorn in the side of intelligent people.
So last one, Jose Martinez asked about dream working.
Okay. What is it, in what context? I mean, I know that you can't, but dream working. These are gifts that you have to cultivate yourself. These are personal things that you may necessarily get conversation from people. Like clairvoyance, audiovoyance, you cannot be taught that. It is a gift that's given to you. Now, your gift, you must take that gift and cultivate it. You have to go through the trial and error so that you can fine tune that gift and use it to your benefit. See, there's people that have intuition, but intuition is hard to deal with because you don't know how to decipher it. I got a feeling, but I don't know what it is. Doc, don't go outside. Why? Well, I don't know. Well, what's going to happen? I don't know. Right? So only through trial and error, you go out the door and something happens to you. I'm like, see, I felt something. So now I take that feeling, and the next time I feel it and then something else happens in the same nature, I got an idea. Okay, when I feel that means
I can associate it
there's
with
some
that.
violence or some tragedy around, right? Or if I feel this, you're going to get a bad phone call. That's from trial and error. And that's not anything that you could, because everybody, when you talk about feelings, everybody's feelings are subject to their prerogative and their experiences, right? And so you can't, your feelings are all a gumbo of ingredients of conversations and things that you've seen and things that have happened to you, right? So how you feel, I can't tell you how it's supposed to feel.
Right.
it can feel cold to you, and for me, it's hot. How do I articulate that, or how do I transfer that to you? So there are certain what they call fundamentals, certain things that these are exercises that will help you do things, but certain things like dreams and things of that nature, you would have to really do the research. And again, it's a trial and error thing. You know what I mean?
All right, one more. What is the meaning behind colors yellow, black, and green?
Yellow, black, and green?
Yellow, black, and green.
I don't know where these questions is coming from. Like,
Oh, this is the chat.
yeah, I know, but I'm saying like they just throwing like
Yeah, they just throwing off the backboard, you know.
And they, in what context? Yellow, black, and green. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm just randomly picking them.
I mean, it could be Jamaica. I don't know.
Right. Now this is just a general question. Is the Bible a white man's book? Or is every book, everything is everything, and there is aspects of, you know.
Well, isn't the oldest Bible Ethiopian?
Yeah, but that's not even the issue. The issue is that the verses, there are people that know how to work the Bible. Right? That's why you join Eastern Stars and Masons, the things of that nature, because they understand how to impart those psalms. Right?
I saw Johnny Cochran in the OJ trial rocking some psalms on their ass. After he hit him with the "if it don't fit, it must have quit" hip hop shit, he went to some psalms on their ass, and I was like, "Yo, he working."
Yeah, man, because these are they're supposed to be, these are formulas. Like when you, Rashid talks about that with Kabbalah. A lot of these concepts are antiquated formulas, right? And so sometimes they lose their efficacy when they get translated into other languages and whatnot, and you don't really get the whole gist of what it is that they're implying.
Right.
So I mean, you know, again, you talking to me. I ain't really with the fucking white man bullshit. Like I don't really care about that shit. Like I'm over that. Like I'm talking about, you know, if you want to talk about progressive black movement, let's talk about economics. Economics in terms of cooperatives and congregation. Like I talked about the last time, like nigga town. I'm just saying that, like, you know what I mean? Like there's a Chinatown in every city that you go to, so they congregate amongst each other, right? And they market it and they champion that shit, so that you want Chinese food, you gotta go to Chinatown to get it. And you want Chinese articles, you go to Chinatown to get it. And so they have a hold on their culture. Right? So I'm into that. I ain't with the whole white man shit. Let's be like, nah, son. We go like, unless you want to talk that white man shit, go stop one of them crackers that's shooting these black people and stop using your phone. Go get a bat when you see the niggas tasing the niggas. And you understand? Like if that's what you into, I ain't inciting nothing. But don't talk to me about no white man shit, no RBG shit, my nigga. If you ain't got no guns and you ain't ready, willing to die for that shit.
Agreed.
You feel me?
Agreed.
I've been preaching that shit up here forever, but
agreed.
Brother Oba, is mental illness a byproduct of spiritual imbalance? I think
Absolutely.
That was pretty good question.
Absolutely. What happens is people become crazy because they see things that other people can't see and they become dismissed, right? Because everybody wants to feel special, right? So a lot of people come to me and they want to get read and they want to hear that they the golden child, that God been waiting for them to get this information and they're going to change the world. Like everybody feel that they Neo in the Matrix.
Right.
You understand? And, you know, in terms of people trying to put the spirituality thing into an understanding, right? You have to really immerse yourself in self-inventory.
Okay.
You understand? You have to be able, like, I could give you a reading and you sit there and I tell you some shit, but if you ain't really ready to address those pathologies about yourself, then right? So what happens is people they see things and they be like, yo, I see this, and other people cannot relate. It don't resonate with them. Why? Or, you know, especially when the person is talking and that shit is prophetic, and they into your business, motherfuckers will clam up on you real quick. Nah. So you telling them, oh, you cheating on your wife, and they be like, nah. And so what that does is that breaks the confidence in the person. So eventually the person becomes more comfortable talking to these spirits than they do to the regular people. They become ostracized, and you can't maintain a relationship with dead folks that strong, because in order to rock with them, you gotta be dead.
Full facts.
You know what I'm saying? So what happens is mental illness, people break down and they're like, they become ostracized, and they feel like, you know what, I can't deal with everybody else because everybody else don't understand what I'm going through.
Right.
And so this is where the vices come in, to numb themselves so that they can try to build a wall so that they don't have to see or hear this. You know what I mean? It's like the medication is like, like fire starters. And they'll give her the medication and so she can't start no fires. So I'm gonna drink this alcohol because I get drunk and I can't really see them. They're not as clear. So now when I'm not drunk, they show up magnified.
Double.
So now I gotta drink some more.
Right. So Kanye, this whole thing about him being bipolar, I always thought Kanye walked between worlds, so to speak, from a creative perspective. And now they're ostracizing him, you know what I'm saying? Because he can, his music is manifesting things that other people ain't even really up on, you know what I mean? And he it's a term that they use to express what he can see sound. Some kind of, it's a technical term where he can just by the objects that he sees around the room. And that's his gift. In his album, he just said, my disability is a superpower, nigga. Ah! You know what I'm saying? He's trying to say, don't ostracize me. I'm trying to deliver something to y'all that's a little bit more maybe out of this realm, and y'all are fucking with me.
Well, the other thing you gotta address is that we live in a society of people that right now are addicted to amphetamines.
That too.
So, they're talking about all of this opioid shit, but they ain't talking about the amphetamines. So, like, you wonder how these kids could consume ecstasy on such a large level as they do. It's because they've been taking Ritalin and Adderall all their life, and that shit is an amphetamine.
Got you.
Right? And so they already buzzed.
Right. Naturally buzzed.
And so you got a whole society, like, they got a documentary that talk about that with motherfuckers on college campuses. That's what they using. They calling that the super drug. They texting each other, you got some Addy, you got some Ritalin, right? And motherfuckers is popping the Ritalin and they can focus and cram for a test. And so now they taking that shit from college and they taking that with them to the business world where they can produce more because they on this drug that got them super concentrated. It's an amphetamine. It's the same as ecstasy and Molly.
Facts.
Right? And so there's a whole generation of children that was given that shit.
An entire generation.
Whole generation.
A lot of black kids too, to shut them down and keep them quiet.
Yeah.
Right. So now so this is why their attention span is as short as it is. They ain't got time for that because their mind is racing.
Yeah.
On to the next one. That problem is solved. Oh, well, we'll leave it back and we're going to the next one. And so the society is changing, and he's as an artist, he's speaking on the society, right? And so look at the two dudes so you look at Chris Brown and you look at Kanye West. They're both visual artists. First off, before they get to rapping and doing all that, Chris Brown is amazing with the anime and shit. The Sunny Nights.
Yes.
Right? And so his music is creative because he's visual, right? Kanye the same way. So these are dudes that are ushering in a very artistic Aquarian age. It's very deep, very ethereal. You know what I'm saying? Very philosophical and all that. And so it's the beginnings. And so he's really making his mark as an artist to stand the test of time. He has figured out how to manipulate pop culture.
Definitely, yeah.
Absolutely. No
See, he figured out the troll shit when he jumped on the stage with
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Facts.
Right? He was like, oh, this is what y'all gonna do? Oh, okay, I got a trick for you now. So now every time he wants to, he got a jack in the box for you. He'd be like, I'm gonna wind it up and I'm gonna pop out and y'all gonna go run to the streams, buy it up, you're gonna buy my sneakers.
Cause he's number one. The album's number one. On iTunes, I believe.
Last question. Sean Collins says, can you talk about the science of self and how you should apply it to your everyday life.
I feel like this is stuff we talk about on here.
We talk about it, but our guests.
No, I'm just
science of self, how to apply it to your everyday life. You know.
Well, we're talking about self-inventory.
Self-inventory, right?
You have to be able to accept your quirks, and when you accept your quirks, and then you have to dig deep and figure out what is it that triggered those quirks, right? And so you have to go back into the recesses of your past and evaluate how certain things affect you, right? And sounds, smells. People. And so, okay, for instance, I think I spoke about the cigarette thing. I smoke cigarettes, right? I don't notice the smell of it, but unconsciously, the smell is comforting to me because both my parents smoke. So when that shit is in their clothes and I hug them or I kiss them, that smell is nurturing and
I know the feeling.
Comforting to me, right? So that if you don't smell like cigarettes, I'm probably subconsciously a little bit suspicious of you, right? So I had to realize. So I'm like, I smoke the cigarettes. Yeah, there's a spiritual thing imparted to it, but what is it that I like about it, right? And so I had to dig into the research and come to an acceptance of why do I like this shit? Oh, my parents smoke. Now it's not an excuse. Yeah. It's okay. So now I try to make a conscious effort not to smoke as much, so I can get it to a point where I know why it is that I'm smoking.
What's triggering it?
Yeah, and that's just a small example. But so when you're talking about self, with these traditions, this is why it's separate from a sermon. A sermon, you telling a whole bunch of people, oh, don't do this, don't do that. But it don't apply to everybody within the congregation. Right. When you come and you get a reading, you sitting and you having a personal experience, right? It's me and the person that's getting divine for. I'm asking them questions that are leading into certain things that make them the way they are. You understand? Right. So now, this information that I give them, they can accept it, and once they accept it, then they can now make provisions to it. Right, but first they gotta accept it. Right. Facts. And so if I'm like, nah, the cigarettes ain't no thing. What the fuck are you talking about?
Then you just shut down the ability to help solve.
Exactly.
And open up that pathway. With that being said, we are gonna have to end this segment because we down to 5% battery juice on the iPad. That shit is shut off on us. So where can you be reached?
On the Instagram, Ekun7, EKUN7.
I actually threw it in the chat, but I threw it in the description.
EKUN7.
I don't be checking the emails. You gotta understand, I be killing chickens and throwing shells and getting possessed and doing all this shit all the time. So I don't really have time for social media. I like Instagram because it's visual. You know what I'm saying? I can say a lot with a picture. Oh man, I keep it on just so that people have a contact with me. I don't check emails because it's too much. I be consumed, and people be asking, "Don't call me with no shit about no dreams." I don't interpret that shit. I don't interpret that. I don't care what some other dude is talking about. I ain't into that because they're not I'm not a student of those people, so I can't cross-reference that shit, and I don't really care. So, that's why I'll be like, word, this is what they, and then I'll shut down and I won't check it. Right. But the Instagram, it's kind of like you get access to me immediately because, oh, okay, well, what you want? Where are you though? That's the first question. Because if you somewhere far, I ain't doing no shit on no phone.
So with that being said,
follow us on Instagram, urbanx_NYC.
That's what's up.
Visit urbanx.nyc.
And of course, Oba will be back from time to time.
Definitely.
Yeah, when I get back from off this plane or something.
This is dope. I learn in real time. A lot of people don't realize that. I'm getting information in real time. I just be here.
Absolutely.
That was dope.
So I'm going to hit y'all with this.
Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
That's our people.
Couldn't find a prayer,
we gotta promote that.
Black mass, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way.
Oh, I like that shit. Okay, that'll step the shit all the way up.
Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Nah, but y'all views is up.
Yeah, we trying to get there, man.
Motherfuckers be like, yo, you on Urban X?
Down, come my little homie
Right.
called in, had to bail him
Yeah.
out. He in trouble with the law again. Black skin
that's
can't
lit
win
right
in the
there. I ain't
white
even gonna
world.
hold
Seen
you.
the brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, so they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mass, man, it's time to rock.